Honestly, I'm hoping that today is a massive turning point for my life. Long story short, the past few months, maybe even year plus, has been some of the worst I've felt physically and mentally, right? Physically, almost every single day, I've had some level of headache, like across my forehead. It's been mild for the most part, not like super piercing or anything, but enough that it's always there, enough that it's painful, and enough that it like steals from my focus and my just ability to be present. On top of that, I've had like neck and shoulder pain that I think is contributing to the headache. I'm not 100% sure, but there's also that. It's really been the worst I've felt on a day-to-day basis for such a prolonged period, since I've been born. And on top of that, like mentally, I feel like super unfocused, super like brain fog, which is probably caused by the headaches. Super like impacted by this physical pain because it's always something I'm thinking about, and it just like steals from, like I mentioned, being able to be present, but also to just be me. I feel like super muted, right? Like I don't feel myself. In the past, I used to be very like positive and outgoing and like willing to talk to people, and I feel like because of how I've been feeling recently, it's just been like making me want to just close in and like stay inside or not like really reach out to people. It's even like stopping my productivity and doing work, which obviously sucks. So lots of different elements, lots of different things. But on top of that as well, I feel like now, probably because of all those things, one, I've had like really bad sleep. Like I have not had a good night's sleep in probably upwards of a year. Again, probably caused by a lot of that, what I mentioned before, but also because of another thing that I've been having is like a lot of stress and anxiety. And I'm really holding on to stress. I'm like grinding my teeth. I'm like, my mind is always racing about ideas. And in some cases it's good, but in a lot of cases it's like very worthless. And just makes me anxious. And you might think like that's like no big deal, it's just like things, but I've also had like a few medical conditions happen recently. So the first is probably more mild, is that like my girlfriend found a balding spot at the top of my head, which of course is caused by stress, so that's like a big factor. But on a more serious note, I actually had a arrhythmia, which is basically an irregular heartbeat that had me quite scared a few weeks back. Got it checked out and all that kind of stuff, and they don't think it's a huge deal, but I think for all of these things, it's one of these situations where I see that if I don't put a stop to this, if I don't make a change right now, I like go down a very different path of life than I want to. The path of like this deteriorating body. Like, to put this in perspective, I'm not even 28 yet, and to be having these sorts of feelings in pretty much what is the prime of my life doesn't bode well, right? Especially I don't have any kids, I don't have any like huge stresses like bills particularly to pay, all this kind of stuff. So if I'm having that now, if I don't fix this, it's only gonna get worse. And yeah, I could just really clearly see like a vision of my life, a vision of myself where I'm, a bum who has all these things wrong with him, like pains and mental issues and all this kind of stuff, but I'm not dealing with it. And on top of that, like it's also been one of the moments of my life where I've been the mentally weakest when it comes to temptations, social media, food, sweet treats, spending money. Oh my gosh, I've been spending a lot of money very frivolously recently. Watching porn, right? Like stuff like that. And it's just stuff that I know doesn't give me enrichment in life, and I want to cut out on. So today marks day zero. Hopefully tomorrow is going to be day one, where I start in earnest of doing three things. The first is going to be meditating for at least 10 minutes daily. I'm going to aim for 20 minutes because that's where it seems to be the sweet spot. But 10 minutes I think is doable every single day for the next 90 days. The second thing is I'm going to be doing eye exercises. So I'm going to try to find I have an eye specialist. I'm going to try to get an appointment with them either tomorrow or Saturday and do the exercises they prescribe me to do. And then on the third thing is I'm going to be going to rehab for my shoulder and my neck to make them stronger and stronger. So that's probably going to look like doing exercises 3 times a week for the next 90 days. So that's what it is. I hope this is a real turning point for me and my life. I hope that this is something I could look back on and be like, wow, like I felt terrible before I did that, and now that I did that, I feel great. I'm praying that that is the case. So yeah, I'll leave it there. This is my statement of intent. I'm thinking I'll probably post stuff on my shorts feed to like update it. But yeah, this is me basically calling my shot and saying what I'm going to do for the next 90 days. Good luck, or wish me luck.